You know that smartphone in your hand? It feels like one solid, perfectly crafted object. But before it ever got to you, it went on this unbelievable journey all over the world. It has a secret life, a hidden story that crosses continents. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it all happens.
Seriously, just look at it for a second. It feels so complete. But the story of how it was made is a tale of raw materials from one corner of the globe, high-tech factories in another, and just mind-boggling logistics tying it all together. So the real question is, how does a company actually pull something like that off?
Okay, so to really get this, we're going to look at the company that has absolutely perfected this game, Apple. The secret to how they build millions and millions of iPhones is their mastery of something called the global production system. And trust me, it's like a massive, intricate puzzle that pieces together the entire world.
So think about it like this. It's a giant jigsaw puzzle, right? But the pieces are scattered all over the planet. You've got raw materials in one corner of the world, a super specialized factory in another, and your design team is somewhere else entirely. The challenge for a company like Apple is finding every single one of those pieces and making them fit together perfectly. So what this really is at its core is a high-wire balancing act. On one hand, you have to be incredibly efficient to keep your costs down. On the other, you need impossibly high quality. And you have to coordinate it all so that millions of parts show up at the right factory at the exact right time. It's this huge, huge challenge of trade-offs.
So, okay, how does this whole dance actually work? Well, it breaks down into about 4 steps. First, you've got to source the raw materials. Then, specialized factories around the globe manufacture all the individual components. The screen, the chip, the camera. Next, all those parts come together in one place for the final assembly. And then finally, the finished phone is shipped out all over the world. It's a 4-step dance on a global stage.
But this global dance, it doesn't just happen on its own. It's all held together by these 3 kind of invisible forces. Constant, real-time communication between teams, super strict, standardized procedures to make sure every part is exactly the same. And of course, solid risk management, because when you're working at this scale, you just know something is going to go wrong eventually.
Now, obviously, building things this way is super powerful, but man, it is also full of hurdles. You're not just managing a factory down the street anymore. You're trying to navigate the complexities of the entire planet.
I mean, you're dealing with these huge differences in everything from labor costs to local laws. One country might have amazing ports and roads, while another struggles. And that's not even getting into different languages and ways of doing business. Each one of these is a major hurdle you've got to clear.
So to get around all these hurdles, modern companies have basically written a whole new playbook for the 21st century. They've figured out how to turn these global headaches into a real strategic advantage using a mix of powerful tech and a totally new way of thinking about management.
And the whole philosophy, the main idea, is this really delicate balance. The goal is to keep everything perfectly consistent, so your phone is the same amazing quality no matter where it's sold. But at the same time, you need to be flexible enough to deal with the unique rules and customs in every single country you operate in. You have to be global and local all at once.
And how do they pull it off? Well, technology is a huge part of the answer. You've got digital supply chains that let them track a single tiny screw from one continent to another, like in real time. Cloud software means the team in California can see exactly what's happening on a factory floor in Asia. These tools, they make the world feel a whole lot smaller.
And there is no company out there that uses this modern playbook better than Apple. They are the undisputed masters of this whole global production system. So let's actually trace the journey of an iPhone and see their winning formula in action.
So every single iPhone, it doesn't start as a physical thing. It starts as an idea in Cupertino, California. This is the brain of the whole operation. It's where the design, the software, and that core feeling of using the phone are all born.
But the actual physical parts, they come from all these specialists across Asia. Apple doesn't make its own processors or its own screens. No way! Instead, it goes to the best in the world, sourcing critical parts from places like Taiwan for the most advanced chips and South Korea for those incredible cutting-edge screens.
And then, finally, all of those different pieces, the screen from one place, the processor from another, they all get shipped to China. There, in these massive, super efficient plants, they're all put together before they get shipped out to the rest of us.
Okay, but here's the real secret. Apple's success isn't just about picking countries on a map. It's about their obsession with 3 things. Just meticulous, down-to-the-second coordination, incredibly strict quality control at every single step, and building these deep, long-term partnerships with their suppliers. That is the magic formula.
So, after all that complexity, what's the big payoff? Well, it really comes down to three huge business advantages. This mastery of the global system lets Apple achieve incredible efficiency, which is what drives those famously high profit margins. And it guarantees absolute product consistency, so every iPhone just works perfectly. That's the reward for solving that giant global puzzle.
So there you have it. That's how your phone gets made today. But it leaves us with a really important question for the future. As technology like AI and automation just keep accelerating, and as global politics shift around us, is this map going to look the same in 10 years? What happens to the world when the pieces of this puzzle start to move? Thanks for tuning in.